At the top of the show, I mentioned that we had a great lineup, and next up is certainly no exception. He is an expert at trading news reports. He actually got started studying music at the Berklee College of Music and the Boston Conservatory. He began trading stocks in 2001 and learned the art of futures trading. He's been trading for over 20 years and is now considered an expert teacher and trader of the news. Here to explain this is it, the greatest free holiday challenge ever, is Mr. Lee Goldstein of 10 Minute Trades. Welcome back to Traders Corner, Lee.
Hey, thank you very much, Anthony. How's everything going? Hope you're having a great holiday.
Thank you. Everything's good over here, nice and relaxed.
Good, good. Okay, well, thanks for the nice introduction, and I'll get started because time is at a premium. So you can see my charts, I assume, and can hear me just fine. So if there's any issues, please, anybody just type up. Hey, Ray, I could see some of my friends are here, some of the folks from our class that we're giving. So I'm here talking about appointment-based trading. We want to teach you how to supercharge your setups. I want to teach you how to make an appointment with the market. We trade futures and we use the Ninja Trader platform. So that's important to remember. Also, important to remember, you can lose money trading futures. I'm not a financial advisor, and what we're talking about is for educational purposes. Please just be careful trading. Make sure you spend the time to learn so you're ready to trade. And that's why we're here. You know, one of the reasons and one of the whole points of the Traders Corner, all these get-togethers that we do almost every month is because everybody's looking for ways to trade. And I'm curious, before I get into my presentation, I would love if you would just type in why you're here. What is the main reason you're here? Is it to make money? Is it to learn about other trading systems? Is it curiosity? Because I find so many people these days don't even trade for real. They're watching, they're using prop accounts, they're not trading real money. And part of the time I don't get what people are doing because so many people I feel these days, they're not trading, they're watching. And I have felt over the past couple of years that trading, yes, there's a lot of very serious people, but there's a whole collection of people that just like watching people trade. It's almost like watching TV. There's people that they're never going to trade real money. They're never going to trade professionally. They love watching other people trade. I'm just curious. Type in why you're here, what you're looking for, and how many times have you been to an event like this in the past 6 months? How many times have you been to an event like this in the past 6 months? Those are the things that I would like to know. Why you're here, how many times you've come to one of these events. So look, I started my morning with a smile on my face because I got an email. I got up, I started doing tech support because I'm the guy that does the tech support at 10 Minute Trades. If you have a problem, I read the emails first. And I knew that I did not get up early this morning, and I knew that I did not trade the British rate statement. At 10 Minute Trades, we trade the news. We teach our members how to trade on a schedule. We don't wait. We don't watch the charts all day long. We have specific times that we trade. We know exactly what we're going to do all week long. It's a great way to trade. Well, I got this beautiful note from a member who's been struggling for a long time. He's been in and out of our membership for a couple of years. And here's what his letter said. It said, "Beautiful British pound trade. I've been trying to master this style of trading. Finally, it sinks in with your system and probabilities. It's safer than most systems. Couple that with the prop firm or micros. It's the best way either to learn or grow an account. Please share this review with the group. You've been awesome support, Lee." That made my day. And I want to thank Lawrence because I know exactly who sent that to me. Lawrence is taking our trial right now and he's taking our free class. And he got up this morning and he took a trade because we taught him how to take this trade. I did not have to be there. That's when you know that you're doing things right. When members and traders that have been in your trade room are using the tools that you supply and they're making money without you. That's when you know you're doing it right. So once again, he was trading futures using NinjaTrader, and that's what we do. We have a system, we have software. Our software, I believe, is the absolute key to everything that we do. Our software installs into NinjaTrader and then it becomes a part of the platform. So and it's not even complicated to learn. It's very easy to learn. It's a super ATM, meaning it's an automated trade manager. You don't have to learn NinjaTrader's trading language. You don't have to learn how NinjaTrader trails, and you don't have to write any weird languages to manage your trade. Our software does all of that. If you're a discretionary trader, and you don't want to trade the news or you don't want to trade events, no problem. You could still use our software. Our software has a myriad of setups. We've got reversal trades. We've got breakout trades. We have earnings trades. We have something we call the trap trade, which I'll show you some of those today because it's been a really hot trading method in the types of markets that we have right now. And the markets are volatile. The markets have been very volatile for quite a while, actually. This is not something that is just occasionally. The markets have been pretty volatile for quite a while. We don't care what the markets are. We don't really care if the markets are up. We don't really care if the markets are down. People ask us, what direction are you going to go? And that's not what we do. We react to a news event and we get pulled into the market. And whatever direction we get pulled in, that's the way that we manage the trade. So I always laugh when someone new comes into our trade room and says, okay, what direction are we going on this trade? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you have not looked at any of the materials I sent you yet because you're not getting it. And then the other question that I always laugh at is the person that comes in, and this is everybody, what's your success rate of all your trades? And then I think to myself, now this is a person who hasn't paid one bit of attention to what I've said, or he's so new, he truly doesn't understand what we do. We don't calculate every single trade. I would not want to trade every single news event because not every single news event behaves well. Not every news event trades properly. So the idea with what we do and the concept is what are the events that perform the best so you can get a profit from that event. And that's the key to our trading system. And we have a system. It has 5 elements. It has the weekly market mover, which is our weekly schedule. And I'll show you one of those. It's got the daily market mover. Those are our trade reports. We have a weekly schedule. We send it to our members. We pick the events that we think are going to move the markets this week, and then we get ready to trade them. We have a trade setup for most of the events, and we send those setups to our members the day before the trade, so they're ready. And then, of course, just like all the mentors here, most of them have a trade room. We have a trade room, and it's everything takes place and flows from our trade room. And our software also is a critical part of what we do. And then we have a new piece of software that I think is going to change our company. It's already starting to change the company. It's called the Magnet Trade. And I'm just going to briefly touch on that. But the offer that I have for you today, the Magnet Trade, is something that you can definitely learn a lot about. And anybody can use the Magnet Trade. Anybody can do what we do in prop accounts and cash accounts. Any account you want to trade in, you could trade the way that we trade. This is our weekly schedule. It's really simple. On the left, we have the time of the event that we're thinking of trading. The next level is what time does our trade room open? Not very complicated. The trade trigger, what's the event? What's it called? French flash manufacturing, US jobs report, Canada retail sales, whatever it is, the FOMC statement. Most people are afraid to trade the FOMC statement. We traded it yesterday, and I made a little bit of money on it. I didn't get rich on it, but I made enough money that it paid for a couple of months of our service. And that was a good thing. And I was only in the market for about 3 minutes. That's the key. When we say that our name is 10-minute trades, we really mean it. We're not spending 20 minutes in a trade. Most of our trades are less than a minute. If you've been trading for a while, you know that the longer you spend in the market, the more possibility there is that the market could grab some of your money. So the idea is to try to spend as little time as possible in the market. Spend the best time in the market. So our element number one is the weekly schedule. All of our members know in advance when we're going to stream on YouTube, which we do a couple of times a week at least, when we're going to be in our trade room, usually 10 times or more during the week. And that's another question that absolutely destroys me when someone says, "Is your trade room open all day?" And then I realize you didn't even look at the free weekly schedule because you're just not listening, you're not watching. Our trade room is open. You could hang around in it, but we're not going to be there except at a specific time because that's the way we do it. And it's the best way to do it. By the way, if you want a free copy every week of our weekly schedule, all you have to do is go to our website, www.10minutetrades.com, and I'll type it in to the little link here, 10minutetrades.com, and just opt in for the free video, how to find 10-minute trades, and we will put you on a list to send you our free weekly schedule. Okay, so do that. We'd love to have you on our list. Second element, the daily market mover. After we decide all the events that we're going to trade, we start breaking it down and we look at the events on that weekly schedule and then we pick the best ones. The best ones, we usually have a full-blown daily market report. And that report has a journal of the last 6 months, if it's a monthly report, the last 6 weeks, if it's a weekly report. If it's a quarterly report, it might have 6 quarters on it. But the point is, it's usually got a journal, it's got some text describing the report, and most importantly, it has a setup that we're going to use as our starting point. And we're going to meet up in the trade room. We're going to talk about the setup. We're going to go over the market volatility of that day and that moment. And we're going to make sure that our setup is fitting the current market. Any changes we have to make, we will make. And we will let everyone know that's in the trade room that this is what we think we should do on this event. That's our daily market mover. That's element number two. Element number three, which I think is probably our most important element, our software. When I got to this company, and it's going back quite a lot of years. I'm on my 8th year here. When I got here, our software it was very good, but it was not nearly as sophisticated as I thought that it needed to be. We didn't handle more than 2 orders per event. We didn't have trailing stops. We didn't have reversals. We didn't have all sorts of things that I thought that a really professional software package should have. And I'm not knocking my boss, who I think is a brilliant guy. He designed the software and he came up with a fantastic idea. But every idea always has room to be improved, just like I'm not the final word on our software. Members always have great ideas, and we try to incorporate those ideas into our software over the years. And we've had 8 years of software upgrades. And our software is a custom strategy. It's an add-on to NinjaTrader. Multiple setups. It can be an automated trader. It can be semi-automated. It can be fully discretionary. You can make your own decisions if you want to, or you can set it up so that the software puts orders on the chart, and starts the trade on its own. All of these options are available. And then once again, our software is an ATM. It's a programming language, but you don't have to learn a complicated language. It's basically just typing numbers in, and then the software does all the hard work. It can automate the entries, the targets, the stops. As I said, it's an ATM, an automated manager. We have the magnet trade. Magnets, very simply, why do I love our magnet trade software? What is a magnet? A magnet is a price level on the chart that so many people look at that predictable behavior occurs around those levels. Our magnet trade software is a way to trade around those levels every day on the instrument you love because magnets show up every day on the instrument you love and they are tradable almost every single day, all week long, over and over and over again. You don't have to learn any deep dive into technical analysis. Magnets, like a high of a day or a low of a day, are just always there. They're always going to be there. And we figured out a way to take those trades rather than just watching those areas. That's our magnet trade software. The trap trade. Everybody used to be afraid to trade the trap trade because a trap trade can sometimes be a scary trade because you could be in a trade waiting for a reversal, and if that reversal doesn't come, you could lose money. So it could be scary to be in a trap trade. The best way I could explain the trap trade is our trap trade. Sometimes you feel like you're in the middle of the road without any clothes on. And then all of a sudden, you're in a tuxedo and you realize all you had to do was be patient, and the trap trade would put money in your pocket. This was a trap trade I took this morning, trading the existing home sales report. Existing home sales. Now, that's a report that, in all honesty, when I got to the trade room, I was explaining to people how this report is such a mediocre performing report that I'm surprised whenever I make money on it. But we still study it. We still try to come up with a methodology to trade it. And this morning, and actually for the past couple of months, we've had a way of trading this report that's starting to work. So here's what a trap trade does. It puts two orders above the current price, which is that orange arrow, and it puts two orders below the current price. If the market goes up, it puts me short. If the market goes down, I'm long. So the idea with a trap trade is we study the event. We believe the event will reverse on a regular basis. So if it goes long, I want to be short. If it goes short, I want to be long. Now, here's what's even better about the way we do things. Many traders would look at the way that gold was so negative this morning, and they would be afraid to take a trade in the short direction because gold was already down $47. And that's a lot. You don't often see gold down $47. You might see it down $10 or $8 or $22. But yesterday, everybody knows, was a huge sell-off. Today, it's also there's an overreaction generally to the sell-off. Well, gold has been super volatile anyway. And today it was very negative. It didn't change the way I decided to trade this report. The news came out, and what happened was the price went down. I would have rather been long, in all honesty, on a day like today, but I still had belief in my system. It filled me long. The price reversed. There it is reversing. I canceled my extra order, moved my stop to safety, started to trail. I made not as much money as I could have because unfortunately it backed up on me and I made a couple of $100. And incredibly, which was a surprise, gold kept going up. And it would have been possible to double or triple the amount of money I made on the report. But I don't like to play the woulda, shoulda, coulda. I traded the report the way the markets told me to trade them. It made a nice profit. Yes, there are traders that are smarter than me that might have stayed in longer and made more money, but the idea is to for us to teach you the basics, and then if you could run with them better than I can, which people do, the possibility is always there to make money and to make more money than I made. It's not about how much money I make. It's like that testimonial that I got this morning. Thank you for the help. That's what I want to hear. I'm not in my trade room to brag about how much money that I made. I'm in the trade room to brag about how well you are doing. And that is my goal. My goal is to teach you how to trade the way that we trade, to take the tools that we know that work and to implement those tools into your own trading and to have this system with you for the rest of your trading life. So that was a trap trade. That was a trade that we expected reversals to take place. That's what happened, and we made money. And then yesterday, I traded the FOMC, which has been the home of one of the worst trades I've ever taken in my whole life. But am I afraid to trade the FOMC? No, I still trade it. I'm not afraid of it. We have our DMM. Our members received this document and it showed them that we had an ES trade that we have been looking at for over a year. It's been a safe trade over 70% of the time on the ES during the FOMC, and that's what I traded yesterday in my prop account. So it was not a sim trade. And the news came out. Remember, what's a trap trade? A trap trade is a report, it's an event that I expect the market to change direction. I was in the ES, the market went down, it pulled me into the market long, and I watched, I was patient. I saw the reversal take place. I moved my stop to safety and I was able to grab a quick $300 before the market started selling off like a banshee. I made my money on the upside. Pretty good, if you ask me, on a market that then sold off, what was it, 1,000 points on the NQ? It was an amazing day yesterday. The trap trade is one of our favorite ways of trading. We love trading the trap trade. Okay, so I assume everyone can still hear me. Somebody's complaining they can't hear. So if you're having any problems with the audio, please type in and let me know, folks. Okay, appointment-based trading is a methodology. It's time-based. That's all it is. We look at time. We set up our trades based on time and events. You can schedule your trades specific days, specific times in advance. That's the beauty, in advance. All the while, appointment-based trading, event-based trading, no riskier than any other style of trading. I love to trade, but I hate being in the market for hours. I want to be in the market as little as possible. I don't want to be studying an incredible amount of indicators, and I don't want to be studying all of the clouds and the Fibonacci pullbacks. I don't want to study that. I would rather look at an event for the past couple of months, see how that event is performing, and trade the performance of that event. That's the way that we trade. Our trades are quick, most of them less than 5 minutes. What triggers these trades? I know you're thinking. So there are categories of events that trigger these trades. High impact economic reports, a jobs report, a GDP report, things of that sort. Big company earnings reports. One of the favorite things that we do 10-minute trades. And I'm going to brag a little. I came up with a methodology to use futures to trade earnings. It is one of the best things that we do at 10-minute trades. It's one of our most profitable ways of trading. Trading earnings with futures is unique. I don't know anybody that does it. Last 2 weeks ago, we were trading Adobe. I know because I've studied Adobe. I've watched their trades. I've watched the way the stock moves on their earnings. We programmed our software to put orders on the chart a few seconds before Adobe released their earnings. When the trade was over, 4 seconds later, I had over $450 profit on an Adobe earnings trade. I wasn't trading the stock. I teach you how to trade futures using select earnings stock trades. It is a fantastic way to trade. Another great company that we love trading, Apple. If you know about how Apple releases their earnings, and this is what we teach you. I know how Apple releases their earnings. They do it always the same way every single quarter. 4:30, like clockwork, Apple releases their earnings. The markets are open. Our last Apple earnings, $840 profit. I was in the market for 2 seconds. Now, full transparency, I had losing Apple trades before that. Apple had not treated us well for a couple of quarters. But that doesn't mean Amazon wasn't a winner. That doesn't mean Facebook wasn't a winner. That doesn't mean Tesla wasn't a winner. Every trade can't be a winner. Anyone who says it can be is not telling you the truth. The third trigger of events that we look for are market opens and closes, instrument opens and closes. For instance, if you like trading the gold open, the oil open, those are great times to trade. Those are also great times to use our Magnet Trade software. There are hundreds of triggers within these categories of trades. So the thing about the way that we trade is if you don't like certain events that we trade, you can find your own events. And it's so easy to find the events. Every trader should learn about the calendars. We use four major calendars: Forex Factory, Financial Juice, investing.com. I mean, FX Street is on there. It's not one of the ones we use very often these days. There's nothing wrong with it, but we use others. Forex Factory, investing.com, and Financial Juice, three main ones we use. Earningswhispers.com we use for our earnings trades. And the key is when you go to any of these websites, for instance, if you go over to Forex Factory and click the word calendar, you'll be presented with a collection of events that go through the whole week. Every calendar has a methodology that they use to show you whether they think an event is going to be impactful or not impactful. And it's very important to just study the calendar. Let us teach you about the calendar. If you get our weekly schedule, we break down the calendar and find the best events, right? So you can get our weekly schedule. But red events on Forex Factory are really impactful events. On investing.com, they use a different system. They use these little stars. A 3-star event is usually better than a 2-star, better than a 1-star event. We teach you how to find all the trades that we trade based on the calendars. And then Financial Juice, we love Financial Juice. One of my favorite things about Financial Juice is they have a squawk box. Now, everything I've shown you up to just now is free. And Financial Juice does have a free system that's very nice. It's excellent. But they have a very reasonably priced paid service that also gives you a squawk box. Their squawk box lets you listen to news in the background while you're doing other things. So follow me there for 1 second. If you're listening to news in the background while you're trading, don't you think that that could help you manage your trade? It certainly can. If you hear something very important about the news in your headset, that might affect information that I give to our members. So we love, absolutely love the Squawk Box and Financial Juice, and we recommend their platform to anybody that's a serious trader because you want to know when the news is coming out. You don't want to be blown out of a trade by accident when you're in the market, the oil market, and an oil report comes out that you didn't know about. So you should always be aware of the news, okay? So all those calendars are very important. The way that you find out the best trades to trade is by learning how to backtest. NinjaTrader has a feature called playback. You can go back in time and make believe you're trading over and over again a trade that already took place, and that's called playback. It's very easy to learn how to do it. We teach all our members how to do that so you can test reports and pick the best ones. So why do these reports work? It's really simple. Why do we not worry about Fibonacci all the time? Why do we not worry about Elliott wave levels that even Elliott doesn't know what the levels are supposed to be? Because we look at the news events and we know that when the natural gas storage report comes out, natural gas is going to move the market. Look at the way natural gas moved the market 2 weeks ago. I didn't even trade this report. We were just watching it in our trade room, teaching people how to trade it if they wanted to. As I explained, we don't trade every single news report. Natural gas, look at the way it moved when the news came out. It exploded off the chart. It was a supremely positive trade. For anybody that traded it using our setup, they made a ton of money on that trade. I traded a magnet trade. I saw a high of the day that I thought was going to be tested after the news, and there it goes getting tested, and I took that trade and made money on that trade. So there's more than one way to trade the news. And in fact, we have many different software setups in our software that you can use to trade the news. And like I said before, we have reversals, we have earnings trades, we've got breakout trades. A breakout trade would be that Adobe trade, the natural gas trade I just showed you. One of my favorite breakouts of the past week. Let me see if I could find it or if I moved it to a place where I don't know where it is. I'll show you I got it. Okay, Australia. We stayed up till late, 10:30 at night, the Australia rate statement. We had a trade room. Sometimes we have 3 o'clock in the morning trade rooms. The Australia rate statement, it hasn't been trading that great, but we have a setup. If it comes back to the mean and it starts to trade well again, we're going to trade it. And we traded it the other day. It was about 10 days ago. The price started going down. It put me in the market, hit my first target. That was a breakout. It kept going down. I expanded my target. It allowed me to trail my stop manually. The price kept going down, and I made way more money than I would have made based on my trade report because I was able to manage the trade. Many of our trades, you can manage them, and you can make even more money that shows up on our trade reports. That's a breakout trade. A breakout trade, by definition, we put our orders on the chart, the news comes out, the news shoots through those orders, one direction or the other, and it puts you in the market in that direction. A trap trade is a trade we take a reversal. Why do the reports work? Because what happens is the news comes out, the news is different from what they expect the news to be. That different result creates market volatility, and that's what we trade, that market volatility created by the news report that is different from what is expected. What's interesting, however, about news trading, sometimes the news could appear to be exactly as expected, we call it, exactly as expected. For instance, this morning's British trade, it was exactly as expected. It They didn't lower the rate, okay? That was what the trade was all about. And the rate level stayed the same, but there was still a big explosion in the price. Our setup still was set up to work because we don't really care. As long as we get a move that's tradable, our software can very often take advantage of it. So we're trading that volatility. Bracket the trade, wait for the news to come out. The news comes out and we get pulled in. All right. One more thing that we have that I want to talk about before I get to my offer for everybody. we have something called family money trade, and it's very important when you deal with us to understand, it's very important to understand fully transparently what we do. We teach you to trade the best of the setups. That's why I was joking before. I said, when somebody asks me, what's your percentage of success? I know they haven't paid attention to what we do. The question is, what's the percentage of success on your gas report? How does your US jobs report do? How does your FOMC statement trade? Every event is a separate item. Every item has a separate level of performance. That's when I know somebody pays attention because they understand, hey, what's your best performing report? What reports should I trade? Okay, that's what we call our family money trades, the best of the best reports. So our system works like this. We send you the DMM, the daily market mover. It shows the trade we're gonna spend time on. It shows the setup. It shows the market. It's got some history about the trade. It's got a trade setup, okay? And sometimes it even has a narrative about that trade. That's an example of one of our reports. It shows the bracket size, it has targets, it has stops, but I'm running out of time. I'm going to be running out of time before you know it. Also, before I forget, very important to what we do, trading earnings using futures. So we found this method by accident. We were actually looking for a different thing. We were looking for an end of the day trade on the NQ. And a lot of traders know that about 10 minutes to 4 most days, there's a pretty impactful move on the NQ. But it is really tough to find a great setup for that move. And that's because it changes all the time. It's constantly changing the way that it trades. So let me get my slides back on here, everyone. And we were looking for that trade. We were looking for that a setup for that NQ 450 trade. And we were hanging around in the market. We didn't find anything great that day. And we noticed that the markets were often exploding after 4 o'clock, but really close to 4 o'clock. Sometimes at 4, sometimes at 5 after 4. And that's how we realized it was silly. It was like a moment where we said, how could we not have realized that earnings were causing futures to move in an incredibly tradable way? And that's how we discovered trading futures with earnings. We have tools that we use. Most of them are free, and we teach our members what tools to use. We use Thinkorswim, we use earningswhispers.com, and again, of course, our software is a key element in learning to trade earnings with futures. Everything that we do, you can do it in a prop account. You could do it in a cash account. It doesn't matter. Seeing is believing. We have, I can't tell you how many screenshots I can show you from our members, but let me make this worthwhile. So I was telling you that we have a magnet trade, but I just want to show you one screenshot from one member who's been with us for a very long time. And he is an experienced trader, $4,000 profit on a jobs report, not prop, not fake sim, real money, $4,056. That's a possibility. I mean, that's the whole point about why people are here learning to trade. Now, I'm all for full transparency. Your average trade, it's not going to be a $4,000 trade. But the fact that it's possible and that if you learn to do things right, you can hopefully make money trading and free up time in your life in a way that you want to. The goal is to learn a system that helps you to make money. Screen after screen after screen, I could show you a member profits, but rather than do that, let me show you why I love the Magnet Trade software. What is a magnet? So we took a trade and we actually have a version of this trade tomorrow. University of Michigan. We were in the trade room, and we were looking at micro gold. And micro gold, we trade micros, we trade regular futures, we trade everything. It looked to me like micro gold was going to test the high. I put our magnet trade on. It created an order area. The order area got pierced, and a couple of minutes later, the price chopped a little bit. Boom, that's a magnet. It tested the high a day, and we had a winning trade on the magnet. Seeing is believing. If you come into our trade room and learn about what we do, you'll believe what I say. That's the only way to know for sure is by learning and coming and doing it. We are going through a free challenge right now. A challenge is where we teach everybody all the ins and outs of our system in a short period of time. We've had a week to do this challenge. Tomorrow's our graduation. It's a training session and a graduation, and you're all invited. If you register and come, I'll give you free access to all the class recordings from this week. You'll be able to take the challenge for free, just like everybody else, and you'll have access to all the recordings, all the ins and outs of appointment-based recording, appointment-based trading. That's our gift to you. You'll learn about all the following: our software, the daily market movers, trading on a schedule. You'll learn about our pro trade room. You'll learn about the trap trade. You'll learn about trading it in the prop account, trade earnings with futures, family money trades, breakouts, magnet trades, range trades, news reports. All of this has tremendous value, but we're giving it to you for free. All you have to do is register for the webinar, the education. I'm going to post it right now into the whatchamacallit, into the webinar here, so everybody has the link. Here's the link. All right, I'm sending it to everybody. Let me just make sure I send it to everybody. So hang on. Just in case I don't, I hope that you guys here at Traders Corner will make sure that everyone gets it, but I think we got it. So there's the link, folks. It's in the chat. Register, come to our graduation class tomorrow, and you'll get 5 days of classes to learn everything you want to learn about appointment-based trading. It is the best way to trade. I can't think of a better way, a better system to add to your trading abilities. It's a system you can always look at. You'll always have it for the rest of your life. We're not charging you a penny. Our members love us. I don't really have any more time to read testimonials. Thanks. I'm done for the day, Lee. I just wanted to share with you. One of our members had a couple of bad days. He made a bunch of money a couple of days after. He sent me a nice note. Don't forget, you'll get to discover the Magnet Trade, our live news trading room, our JOBB software, all about appointment-based trading. No charge, for free. It's our holiday gift. Just come to the graduation tomorrow and you'll get to see all this stuff. JOBB software version 11, Magnet, appointment-based trading, news events. We'll teach you how to trade them, earnings trade rooms, how to trade selected stock earnings with futures and trade on your own schedule. Folks, I want to thank you for listening to me. Anthony and everybody at Traders Corner, have a great holiday. Thanks for inviting me. I always appreciate that you make me part of these presentations, and everybody out there, have a fantastic holiday season, and thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Lee, and we appreciate you being here and sharing some gold with our listeners as well.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Have a
You
great
too.
holiday.